How do you tell if someone is attracted to you or just being very friendly? Usually the realization comes 10 years later when you are trying to fall asleep. Do they ever initiate the friendliness? Responding to someone else's kindness is a lot different than initiating it. But even still, the only sure way to know is to ask. By how they look at you or act around you vs other people. If they act the exact same way with other people, you're out of luck. If you get an arranged marriage, it's a 50-50ths. Someone tells you years later. As my dear old dad used to say, women who work for tips are not flirting with you. Flirting's basically a dumb game of chicken with gradual escalation. And #X200B. Or just ask if they haven't, so, usually pretty obvious. By reading someone's comment on Reddit about how they missed all the signs and then you realize that the same thing happened to you and now you lie there contemplating your life. Really, with some people you cannot tell. I knew a girl who was super friendly with me, I got interested, and then a few weeks around her I saw this was how she treated every guy. Smiles, oh stop it you, flirting. I wasn't special here. I moved on. I knew a girl who friendly with everyone. We sat down at a birthday party and talked non-stop for 3 hours. She was friendly with people, but I hadn't seen her do this before. I got her number and called her. We talked until my phone died. Our 10th wedding anniversary was about 6 weeks ago. Our oldest kid turned 7 in a few months. You don't. One person's just being friendly is another's take me to a hotel and fuck me right now. No, the stripper is not attracted to you. I was once called into HR for allegedly flirting with an employee, not part of my own team. Her proof? I was always friendly, offered her milk to go with her coffee, and worst of all, once at an after work, I bought a round of drinks for everyone, her included. The head of HR was a bit puzzled about the whole situation, and asked her what would she then suggest we do to resolve the situation, and she requested that I would stop being friendly to her, and just leave her be. This poor woman just could not accept that I was being friendly. Pro tip: you'll never know if you don't ask. Depends on where you live. Here in England, being anything other than cold and aloof is seen as basically throwing yourself at someone. If they're a cashier/waiter/clerk etc., don't get your hopes up. If they ask you to take off your clothes, chances are they're just being friendly. Ask them. If she says WTF step bro, you were wrong. When I met my last girlfriend, our eyes met across a crowded dance floor. She rolled her eyes at me, so I picked them up and rolled them back. Assume attraction and ask them out. If they say no, you get your answer. If they say yes, you get a date. Assuming the person is single or trifling, you ask to see that person again in a different context, and the negotiation for available time and date is quick and mutually complete, no just friends overtone about it. Thursday at 8? Not available. Not into you. Thursday at 8? Not available, but what about Friday at 9? Else. Look for physicality, proximity, and eye contact when totally unnecessary. Jealousy or defeat, it's subtle, when interacting with someone else of the interested person's gender. Caveat all this with me being terrible about noticing it. My wife points this out to me when we're in public. Once I see it, it's obvious, but until then it's a mystery to me. You don't. It's a leap of faith. That's all it is. It's not always easy. With my fiancée, when we started hanging out, I would convince myself she liked me and then talk myself out of it. I would walk her home and she'd give me a really awkward friend hug, then run inside, leaving me feeling like I'd misread the signals completely. This went on for about 3 weeks before we finally kissed at a party. I asked her about it afterwards and it turns out she was doing the same thing. 7 years and a proposal later, I think she might have a crush on me, guys. Oh, that's easy. No one is ever attracted to me. Well, you can't ever really know, like even if she sleeps with you, she might just be Canadian, so honestly you shouldn't get your hopes up and you better keep looking and wondering. Simple. You just say, "Oi, are you attracted to me or just being friendly?" The fastest route between 2 points is a straight line. Step 1. Cut a hole in a box. Seriously. Nobody is going to link the dude guide. https://udo.be/xa-4iar_9yw. Edit. Thanks guys. Gold and silver and doubled my karma. Reddit confuses me, laughing face. I automatically assume people are being friendly. It's habit. Edit. Geez, didn't expect to wake up with 50+ replies in my inbox in result to self-deprecation. But I think I should clarify some things. I'm a romantic now after struggling with feelings towards romance in general for a bit, but before I discovered what a romanticism was, I just assumed people were being friendly because I was, and still am, too unattractive. Flirting wasn't my strong suit either, and I had a terrible track record with guys, one who was an autistic furry liar, and the other who was an autistic, unhygienic, clueless dude. Plus I can't commit to a relationship. Depression. Though a guy I know apparently has a crush on me, and from our interactions I just assumed he was being friendly. Imagine my surprise when his mom told me he was crushing on me. I never would have known otherwise. Edit 2. Okay, one more edit. I realize that not all autistic guys and furry guys are bad BFs, y'all do you. This was just a case of bad luck for me. Said guy who has a crush on me also has autism and he's a really kind-hearted dude beneath his frowny exterior. Hygienic too. You give it a shot, and if they reject your advances, you stop giving it a shot. The friendly, honest approach has worked for me. You seem really nice, someone I'd like to go out with, if you'd like that too. If they're already spoken for or disinterested, they'll let you know. Either way, I've noticed that they seem to appreciate the attention, if they sense you're being sincere. She was working as a waitress in a cocktail bar. This much is true. You ask them if they're from Canada, if not then you got yourself a new boo, hooray. When she asked me out, I was skeptical. When we slept together, more likely, but can't be too sure. When we got married, I'm pretty sure she likes me. There's no good answer to that question. A million different people may give a million different signals/hints/signs that they are or are not interested in you romantically. What I've found works for me and what I think is the kindest, least awkward way, both towards yourself and the other person, is to Have some sort of consistently positive relationship / repeated interaction with them first, and then, in a light-hearted and friendly way and without implying any kind of emotional pressure, just ask if they'd like to go on a date with you. Use the word date. If they say yes, congrats, they're into you at least enough to give it a shot and see where it goes. If they say no, for the love of all that is holy, don't take it as a personal insult, it probably isn't. Keep it light-hearted and take the refusal with grace. They aren't into you, and throwing a tantrum over it or trying to pressure them further isn't going to help them be into you whatsoever. I've noticed women that have been interested in me, have started a random conversation with me, like asking advice, about something. If a woman compliments you on something, could be your eyes, or your jacket, or pretty much anything, that might be a clue. Women play with hair, or adjust it more, making more than usual eye contact. Also, if you are sitting next to them, and their knees are pointing a bit towards you, that is a sign. As well, if they get under a table and start giving you head, also a clue. For me, I flat out told him that I liked him and if he asked me out I would say yes. He said thanks and never asked me out or responded in any way that he liked me back. Bummer. A few months later we kissed. He was like, "So, you like me?" I should have smacked him upside the head. Apparently he thought I just said that to him to be nice. Easiest way, ask them out on a few dates, have sex with them, start a relationship, take them out some more, go to fancy dinners and parties, take them on holiday and stuff like that. Then, after you've tried that for a few years, ask them if they want to marry you. If they say yes, they're probably interested. The eyes, Chico, always the eyes. In a group setting, if a laughable moment occurs, they will look at you while laughing, indicating they are interested in you. It's not always easy to tell, and I think I'm especially bad at it. For example, here is a story I shared related to this. My sophomore year of high school I had a couple of classes with this girl I had a crush on. Because teachers loved using alphabetical order there, she and I ended up sitting next to each other in those classes. We start passing notes in those classes, talking about random stuff and being a bit flirty. One day I decide to get the courage to ask if she wanted to go out with me to a movie or something. So, I ask her out in one of our notes. She replies saying that she's really sorry but she doesn't like me in that type of way. I was devastated, of course, but I also liked her as a friend and didn't want to lose that, so I replied saying that was okay and asking if we could just forget I asked and keep things the way they were because class would be so boring without our talks. She said yeah, that was fine, and we stayed note buddies throughout the year. Fast forward to my senior year, I had to repeat algebra because I fucked up really badly my junior year due to some personal issues. I'm in a class with a bunch of people the grade under me and I get seated next to this girl named Kate that I thought was so pretty. Like with the other girl, we ended up passing notes to each other in class, and I come to find out not only did I find her physically attractive, but she was also a really awesome person with similar interests. I really liked this girl and crushed hard on her throughout the year. I would make her mix CDs that she would tell me she loved, and she even made me one a couple of times. I'd share with her stories I wrote and also art I was working on. The best part of my day was getting to talk with her during homeroom/algebra. But, I was scared of even trying to ask her out because of how I misinterpreted things last time, so I never did. Came really close a couple of times, but never did. A year and a half after I graduated, I'm dating a girl from the same class as her, who had been a friend of mine for a couple of years. We're hanging out with this other girl who was also in my math class, and she brings up Kate and asks why we never dated. I told her I didn't think she thought of me that way, and she was like, "Are you kidding me? She was so into you." At that time it didn't really matter anymore because I was in a relationship and there was nothing I could do about it, but it did frustrate just how bad I was at reading signals. I mean, I'm still pretty bad at it, but I wish I had at least tried with Kate. I had this same confusion. I had this really cute girl in a few of my classes last school year, starting liking her, but this year I only had one class with her and by now I fully liked her, and then I did a class change and she isn't in any of them. But the problem I had was she is literally the nicest person I know. I can't fully explain it, but she's never been rude, always smiling, that whole thing. Along with that, I've never heard of her liking anyone else, so why would I be the first? Well, long story short, she actually did end up liking me and we just went on our first date a few days ago. Unfortunately, I don't have much advice on it though, lol. Flirt a little and assess reaction. If they react anything less than politely, then that's a no. If they respond by blushing or they flirt back, gradually escalate. Then straight up ask, "I like you. Can I interest you in coffee/date/dinner, etc.?" I guess asking is really the only way to know. You always assume the person is being friendly. I don't know, but I definitely don't want to accidentally lead anyone on. That's why I'm a dick to everyone at all times. As a woman who is very friendly and has had some misunderstandings because of this, here's what I notice is different when I'm flirting versus being friendly. If I'm interested in someone, I will laugh, sort of leaning into them. When I'm not, my laughs are more, throw your head back away from whomever I'm talking to. Relatedly, if I'm flirting, I'll find ways to make casual physical contact. Like kind of lay my hand on their forearm when laughing or stand a bit closer so our shoulders touch. If I'm just friendly with a guy, I make very certain not to physically touch anywhere. If I'm making friends with a new guy, I'll very pointedly suggest we do things with a group. If I'm flirting, I'll suggest something that has the potential for us to be alone together. If I'm attracted to a guy, I often find myself posing. Like, I think, hope, it's subtle, but I'll tilt my head or readjust my hair into positions I know are more flattering. Hope this helps. I'm sure there are other things that I haven't thought of. Apparently you can never quite tell. I go to this store quite often and one of the cashiers said to me, "We gotta stop meeting like this." Which to me, a guy, means that you want to meet someplace that isn't there at that location. I said this on another post a while back and someone told me, "Oh no, that wasn't a flirt. I say that to customers all the time." And to me, that's a weird thing to say as a casual comment. Maybe I'm wrong, but I wasn't thinking about feeling it out anyway. She's attractive but I don't want to date. I know they need to be friendly and I encounter that all the time. That's a different kind of general friendliness. This I wasn't sure how to take, but I left it alone. They may be genuine nice folk. If you are interested, Why don't you make the first move? Something that's helped me in these situations is to not play the does she like me or not game, but instead play the I'm not into her but actually am game. It has worked way more than I thought it would. Just talk to her casually over time till you truly figure out if she's into you beyond basic clues here and there. Wait. You got physical social interaction? How lucky. I love how like no one in this thread knows. I came here to help me identify clues. Damn it, Reddit. LOL. You don't. Everybody approaches it differently. You could give someone your number, ask them out on multiple one-on-one dinners, then find out they're not interested anyways because the word date was never used. No, I'm not bitter about a scenario that happened to me, shut up. The only thing you can do is be as forward as possible, even if it makes things awkward. No games, no beating around the bush, no assuming. If they point out shit like the size of your hands or something stupid, she probably likes you. If she comments on height or random obvious shit, it's probably nothing. No one points out my hand size if they don't like me. I found that out. I'm writing a research paper on this for my nonverbal communication class final. It's about the different interpretations of female nonverbal cues of romantic interest. I'm doing a survey about it. It's only 6 questions and I seriously need responses. If anyone could answer it, that would be unbelievably helpful. There is one for a male and one for a female. Male takes the male survey and female takes the female survey. Male. Female. Thanks. If they are, I don't figure it out until it's weeks/months later. When someone is very near you when you are walking with them or talking to them, they want to touch you, so they will tap on your shoulder, laugh and put their head on your shoulder, playfully hit you. This is me when I'm attracted to someone. I do these things purposely because I'm very friendly in general and I want the person to know that I like them in that way. You lick them. Without permission, you just go for it. Facial licks are the most effective. Are you attractive? If they show you their genitals, they usually like you. Depends, cause they can show the signs but then turn out to be gay. Well, here is my situation. I have a crush on a girl from my school. We happen to look at each other in the corridors and just find the other with eyes when our classes meet. At least that's what I think the situation is. Am I gonna do something about it? Probably not. Firstly, I reckon she has feeling for another boy from her class. Secondly, she is 2 years younger and I am graduating this year, so there is the chance we won't meet again. Thirdly, bad self-esteem - lack of courage. If you're married, your wife is just being friendly. From personal experience, as a man, the women who turned out were attracted to me, touched me a lot, held eye contact, smiled a lot, and laughed at my jokes, even the not funny ones. Always found the excuse to be near me. Made sure I had a good view of their goods, cleavage, butt, legs, etc., whichever they thought was best. Inquired about my relationship status. Talked about their relationship status, unprompted. Fed me things, or gave/bought drinks. Asked to see my tattoos, which required pulling my shirt off. Also, I noticed that there is a certain type of women who are attracted to me, and who in turn I find attractive as well, so in most cases I just assume mutual attraction and plow forward with flirting as hardcore as I can get away with. You get to know them without trying to have sex with them. If they are attracted to you, it will become obvious. If they are not, you still made a friend. If they grab your crotch when you don't know them, probably means they want something. I'm ugly, unlovable, and unlikable. So I just assume people are being nice. That being said, when I'm just being nice, I can see how it could be perceived or read as not just being nice. I'm rather expressive with my movements. But at the end of the day, I'm not thinking about anyone, just killing myself while sitting on my sofa. True story. If they say ooh woo or oh whoa, call the cops. Pretty sure asking them is a good way to go about that problem. If it's your cousin, they're attracted to you. If it's your crush, they're just being friendly. Smiley face, just some advice for the future. They laugh more and girls talk in a higher pitch than normal. Looks like someone's in love.